Iran. Can
Yeah.
I just give you
Yeah, let's hear it.
narrow well, first of all, you're not alone. The Rubio saying the quiet part out loud is exactly what I think a lot
I
of
mean,
people
that's
thought.
so well. No,
That was wild.
I've seen a
wild.
lot of people who I like respect their opinions being like, "Can you see? I can't believe he said it." And I'm like, I don't know. I just see him saying that. And I'm like, it seems like a diversion or something. That doesn't seem like if they actually believe that, they would take that to the fucking grave. Like that would not come out 2 days into the war that they're like, we were forced to do this and we didn't want to do it.
I got two counters to that.
Yeah.
One, Trump doesn't like Netanyahu.
Yeah.
I think everybody can see that. And I could see just, petty fucking over Netanyahu.
Yeah.
It's a personal insult.
Sure. But
anyway.
I mean, I feel like there's remedies for that. Like, I don't know if that's really like, unless Trump's just like blaming Israel as maybe like an off ramp for the United States.
Yeah.
To say like, hey, it's like maybe it's an off ramp, and the U.S. is trying to give.
I think that's reasonable.
That is reasonable. Like maybe they're trying to be like, look, we didn't want to do this, like, but because obviously Iran, Trump even said today, like it's pretty unexpected that Iran just started blowing up every Arab country in the Middle East. Like he's just like, yeah, I didn't see that coming.
There's a good argument for that is the use it or lose it thing. And they're clearly getting all of their manufacturing capacity taken offline.
Yeah.
And, fuck the Saudis oil refinery might have been their thinking. Also, the whatever Ayatollah cut loose a bunch of those. He gave basically launch authority to a lot of.
Yeah, and they had them like the launch like coordinates all set for like if
he decentralized it.
Yeah, and he's just like, if I'm killed, like basically launch immediately.
Yeah, do your thing, but cause chaos.
Yeah.
So that leads me to like the overall point, and I'm not saying I totally agree with this, but it's just perspective, is that both Iran and Venezuela were scheduled years. Scheduled may not be the right word, but they are consequences of the Chinese invasion of Taiwan next year. And
yeah, I mean, so I've seen the oil. I've read the oil angle, where essentially, Venezuela was, I think, exporting like 800,000 barrels a day. Iran was about 1 million barrels a day to China, which they're now going to have to make up somehow. But it's still like, obviously, I'm sure it's not the most convenient thing for China, but it's still only like, I don't know, 12 to 15% of their oil.
Yeah, that's... If I may, I think China gets the largest fraction of its oil from Russia.
Yeah, they do.
Russia has an endless, sort of the Saudis, they have a pretty freaking endless tap. And China's got pipelines going into, their fields in the Far East. The oil one doesn't seem as strong to me as simply China's planning on doing their thing next year, and if we take out the Maduros and the Ayatollahs, can't touch Kim, but at least we can stop those guys from starting shit.
Yeah.
And turning it into like a quasi two-front war.
I am really curious, how much they thought this was just going to be like some kind of cakewalk. Like this was just going to be like bombing their nukes where they're like in and out in an hour.
They might be pretty limited. Aside from all this assassination thus far, it seems like they're really focusing on kicking the shit out of their missile production.
Yeah.
Like that's,
and I mean, again,
a large factory.
It's hard to say like what threats they've made, like, what's true and what's not, but they're like, oh, the big shit's actually coming soon. Like this has been, like the U.S. is like, this has been nothing, but they might just be posturing. Like it's hard to know exactly, but seems like things aren't going as planned.
Agreed. And I don't know, my 2 cents are I put zero stock in most of the the 500 dead Americans.
No,
it's just like saying, oh, yeah, we got something special up our sleeve we're going to launch at you.
Yeah, no, that I can't see that being true. I mean, that would be insane if they just are like keeping a lid on that for some reason.
I don't believe that.
No, I don't believe it
But
either.
that was my 2 cents, is that it's all China, and this would have happened with Kamala. This was going to happen with any American president, because getting Iran and Venezuela off the table of
it does weaken China, which is like, they have been doing a lot of stuff that indirectly weakens China. I guess this is obviously a way bigger deal than Venezuela. Because again, it's like there are fucking Islamists in this country who are going to do some crazy shit. And,
probably.
Whereas like there's no Christian South Americans who are about to go fucking like rent a U-Haul and go blow some shit up.
Agreed.
Yeah, so, but I'm sure they know all of this. I'm sure this isn't news to them. So,
well, and just the last thing I have to add to the whole "it's all a chessboard" kind of point is the Chinese have a lot of missile tracking hardware parked between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman.
Oh, really?
Look up the Liao Wang, Liaowang, Iran, and people are saying, oh, it's there to help the Iranians and pass on targeting data on our jets and our drones, but it reads really like it's there for the Chinese.
Liao Wang 1. It says, as of February,
Liao Wang 1.
Liao maritime space tracking surveillance ship has been deployed by China to the Gulf of Oman and the northern Indian Ocean.
Fucking huge, dude.
Yeah.
If you look at how many radar domes are on that thing compared to anything the Russians or the U.S. have fielded, it's big.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, too, is that, like, I think Americans, and I've kind of said this in terms of the AI stuff, but like we think we're like a little behind China in technology, and we're actually like a lot behind them.